guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I lay my lace front units, as well as how to really get your lace melted. If you guys are new here, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. And with all that said, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm going to start off by placing my wig cap on my head because today we're going to be doing the bald cap method, and this is what is really going to protect our edges from the glue that we're about to use. So I'm just going to be placing that around my ears, and once I've done that, I'm going to be going in with my Got to Be Glued freezing spray and make sure that I'm pulling my wig cap all the way down past my ear so that I'm covering up all the hair right there next to my ear. And then I'm just going to start spraying my Got to Be Glued spray around the perimeter of my hair. This is what's going to adhere our wig cap to our head so that it protects our edges. And this is also what keeps our wig cap in place so that our wig cap doesn't slide back, which will make your wig slide back eventually. And once I've done that, I'm just going to be going in and cutting holes for my ears in my wig cap so that my wig cap will lay flat. And now I'm just fanning this to help this dry down. It usually doesn't take long to dry down, so I just use a fan. You can use a blow dryer, but I like to skip that because I like to use as minimal heat as possible on my edges. And we're going to be using a lot of heat later to melt our lace. Once that's dry, I'm going to be going in and cutting off the excess lace. I like to start in the middle and then start to cut down the sides. Be careful when you're doing this because you can cut your forehead. I have done it before and it is not fun. So I'm just going to be following the perimeter of the glue to cut the lace off. You want to make sure that you leave enough of the cap so that it's covering all of your baby hairs and all the hairs around like the perimeter of your ears, because that's what we are trying to protect from our glue. But you also don't want to let your cap come down too far because this is where we're going to be actually laying our wig. Our wig has to cover all of this, and you don't want your edges and your eyebrows, so you still need to make sure that you're kind of aligning it to where you want your frontal to lay. Once I feel like I've got my wig cap where I want it, I'm going to be going in with my Got to Be Glued gel, the black kind, and I'm just going to be laying down the perimeter of my wig cap. So once you cut your lace, you'll kind of have like these little light spots where you cut the perimeter of your lace and it's kind of sticking up a little bit. So I'm just going to be using this glue to really melt that to my skin and make it seamless, because if you have these little lighter spots showing, when you actually lay your wig, they'll still show through your wig. Okay, so once I've let that dry, I'm going to be going in with a face powder that matches my skin tone, just like any pressed powder. And I'm going to be using that to press around the perimeter of my wig cap, basically just where like my part is going to show. I feel like this part is really optional because I feel like this, like, your scalp is lighter than your actual skin complexion anyway. But I just do this just to make it, look a little bit more natural and, closer to my skin tone. So now we've kind of got our wig cap prepped how we want it. So we're actually going to be taking the wig that we're going to be using today and placing it on our head to kind of match it up to where we want it to lay. I just do this to make sure that, the lace that I've cut is not too far down, or it's, placed kind of how I want it so that the wig will cover everything when I lay it how I want to. I actually did a prior video to this that was kind of like a part 1 to this video where I bleached the knots on this wig. So if you're interested in seeing how I did that, I will link that up below, like in the cards. But yeah, so right now I'm just kind of measuring it to my head and just trying to see like if everything that I want covered is covered, and just kind of adjusting my wig cap to that. Next, I'm going to be going in and placing my wig glue. So the only lace glue that I use is the Isha Absolute Wig Glue because it is so bomb. It's long lasting and it's waterproof. So now I'm just going to be taking that and placing that around the perimeter of my wig cap. And so you just want to place it in little dots. And this just helps me to get an even application without placing too much glue. And once I've placed an even coat, I'm just going to go in with a flat surface and kind of thin that out and kind of make sure that I really get a really even application of this first coat. You want to make sure that you use something that's disposable when doing this, because I swear once you get this lace glue on anything, it's tacky forever, and it's going to attract all the hair, all the lint, all the unwanted things forever. So I think I'm just using like the back of, or like a section of, like, you know, like what comes on your bobby pins, like the little bobby pin holder thing. So I'm just using that to apply this and make sure that I get a even first coat. And then after I do this, I'm just going to go in and do 2 more coats. I like to do 3 coats to make sure that my wig really lasts as long as I need it to. So yeah, I think after I apply this, my wig lasted a week and a half. So yeah, this wig glue is absolutely bomb. I actually have a tutorial on how to use this and a review on this wig glue as on my channel as well, all part of this, you know, kind of beginner lace series. So I will link that above as well, and make sure you check that video out as well. To help that dry a little bit quicker, I'm going to be going in with my blow dryer, because we want this to be, you know, basically clear before we start applying our wig. And once that is dry enough to my liking, I'm going to go in and start lining up my wig to where I want it to be placed. So you want to make sure that you're just kind of lightly, you know, tugging your wig forward to kind of see like where you want it to lay before you actually place it down, because once you even tap your wig to this glue, it's stuck. Like, that's part of the reason why I love this wig glue, but you just really have to be careful during this step to not actually touch the wig to the glue so that it doesn't go ahead and adhere before you want it to. And to help me get my hair out of my way, I'm just going to pin it up with these 2 alligator clips, because you don't want your hair falling forward while you're trying to place your wig, because again, the wig can just, like, the hair can get stuck in the wig like where you don't want it to, and it's just a whole fiasco. So yeah, I'm just gonna be pulling that forward and aligning that to where I want it. And once I feel like I have kind of like my ear tabs where I want them to be and the wig is placed where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and just pat down the center to go ahead and adhere that first. And then I'm going to be taking a comb to comb through my wigs. This is how I like to make sure that my wigs are really adhered to my head. I like to take a comb because it just really helps it to apply more pressure than my fingers can do to really make sure that the wig is stuck in place. And then I'm just going to be taking that comb and just kind of combing around the perimeter of my hair to lay my wig where I want it. Once I have the first side laid, I'm going to be going in and cutting my ear tabs. I like to do this after I've adhered the wig, because I just feel like it's easier to see kind of like where the wig is lined up. But I mean, you're perfectly welcome to cut it before. Some people do that. But I feel like once my wig is glued down, it just makes it easier to see like where I need to cut my ear tab so that I don't cut off too much hair. And you just want to make sure that you cut enough so that you can easily and comfortably tuck your hair behind your ear. So once I've laid both sides and I have cut the ear tabs on both sides, I'm just going to be going in and using my blow dryer and that comb to really melt down my lace. Just adding this heat on top of the glue that we've adhered, it just really, you know, melts your wig to your head and makes it look really natural. So I just like to do this for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes just to give the glue a stronger finish and to give my hairline a more natural look. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go in and start cutting the lace. So I like to cut my lace in sections because it just makes it easier when we get to this next step. So yeah, I'm just going to be cutting the lace in like these 4 little flaps so that it makes it easier to cut the lace off. Now I'm going to be going in with an eyebrow razor, and this is what I'm going to use to cut the lace around the perimeter of my hair. So by using an eyebrow razor, it just makes it look more natural, because if you use scissors, it just, you know, it's very hard to make it look natural just because your scissors are going to cut in a straight line. So by using the eyebrow razor, it kind of gives you that jagged look. So yeah, I'm just going to be going in and cutting with this eyebrow razor, and then like any parts that are just too jagged, I'm going to go back and clean up with my scissors. And you just want to get as close to the hairline as possible without actually cutting any of the hair. So once all the lace is cut off, I'm just going to be going back in around the perimeter of my lace and adding some more glue. This is just because around this part I kind of have some the edges of my wig are sticking up a little bit, so I just want to make sure that everything is glued down and secure. So I'm just going to add one more layer of glue around that perimeter. And I'll just be using my blow dryer to again kind of melt that down and make sure that everything is seamless. Once you get done with this and you've kind of, got your lace completely laid, you can choose to just leave it like this with a little bit of foundation like around the perimeter, or powder. It'll be completely natural. Some people choose to leave it this way, but I like baby hair, so I'm gonna go in and do that step as well. Okay, so now we're kind of getting into the styling part of the wig, so I'm not really going to talk too much in this part. I'm just gonna kind of let this play out because this part is really up to you how you want to style your wig. But now that we've got the wig kind of placed how we want, just to flatten out the top of my wig a little bit, I'm going to go in with some foam and a hot comb to really flatten out the top of my wig, because sometimes wigs will be kind of I don't know, bulky at the top, but we want it to look flat so that it looks like it's actually our hair. Now once I finish flattening out the top of the hair, I'm just going to go in and straighten it and finish off by doing some baby hairs. But again, I'm just going to kind of let you guys watch this part because it's pretty self-explanatory. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this part, and I will see you at the end to close out this video. Well, that is all for this video today, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Don't forget to check out those videos that I mentioned earlier on the wig glue that I used in this video, as well as how to perfectly bleach your knots. If this video was helpful for you guys, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up, as well as leave a comment down below about what you liked about the video, or any topics that you want to see next. If you haven't already, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one.